Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to go over two car repairs that could derail your estimate completely. So I'm talking about either doubling or even tripling your estimate, and then compared to what you came in for originally. All right, so we're going to start with number one, which is four-wheel brakes. So nowadays, four-wheel brakes, if you do it at a shop, so they won't allow you to have to bring your own parts. They're going to charge you for their parts because they do make a sale on that. So either they'll get it from the supplier, the parts store supplier, or if it's a dealership, they'll have it in-house. So four-wheel brakes is going to be around $700. And that's kind of on the low end. I've seen them go as high as $1,400. They're just depending really on the car make and model. So SUVs would easily go up to 1,400, and then sedans could go minimum 700, and smaller cars will go around 500-600, but that's a bit more rare since smaller cars sometimes they'll have drum brakes in the back, so four-wheel brakes is not really an option. Usually the drum brakes, they last up to 200,000 kilometers. But so we're only going to talk about the $700 one and then $1,400 one. Okay, so if you have a sports car, we're not going to talk about that because sports car, they could easily go to 3,000. Really, it just depends on the type of rotor they have, and as well as the quality of the brake pads. I know sports cars, they don't usually sell their brake pads. They're aftermarket. You can't really get them aftermarket. So yeah, so four-wheel brakes, so between $700 and $1,400, and then that could easily double or triple your bill. I've seen that a lot when I worked at the Kia dealership. So the car in question here is the Kia Optima. So many times some Kia Optima owners would come in with so they could do their four-wheel brakes, and then we would also have to sell them 4 calipers because they always seize. So depending on how many calipers end up seizing, the shop or garage will end up calling you again and telling you that you need calipers depending on which ones are seized. So mostly on the Optima, it was always the front was the most common one, and then the back as well. So and that's another, so 150 per caliper, let's say. So that's another $600 on top of the bill. And then after that, plus the labor to install all these, so another maybe 2 hours. And then plus they'll probably charge an hour for the brake flush, which is also another 150 plus parts. All right, so you can see how your $700 brake job or $1,400, you could easily add, another 1,000 or 1.2K, depending on your car make and model, obviously. And then so SUVs, their calipers will be a bit more expensive compared to the regular sedans, and so on. So yeah, this is a scenario that happens a lot, especially with the Optima. I haven't seen any other cars that did that, but with the Optima, it was just crazy. So we would sometimes we would get so used to it that in the estimate we would just pre-order calipers, and then if we didn't end up needing them, we'll just return them, and then we wouldn't charge the customer. And also the suppliers of calipers, so we would always get remanufactured calipers from our parts supplier at the dealership. So even they ran out of remanufactured calipers because we kept ordering so many of them. I don't know what's wrong with the Optima calipers, but they're just really badly made. And that's one scenario where the four-wheel brakes just doubles in or triples in the estimate. And yeah, the customers have no choice of paying it. So, and it doesn't really have to be specific for the Kia Optima. This could happen to any car. So just be aware that if the technician is working on your car and he finds other stuff wrong with the braking system, so either a collapsed, I don't even know if that's right. Okay, collapsed brake hose. Oops. Okay, seized calipers. What else could go wrong? Guide pin bushings. So either seized guide pins or guide pin bushings that you would need. So all those could add up into the bill. So the original estimate, usually I know shops are they need to be within 10% of the estimate, but in scenarios like these with the Kia Optima, there's no way they could be within 10%, because we would always need calipers, a brake flush, and so on. And then, like I said, so any of these could also happen to your car when you bring it to a shop or mechanic. So just be, so it's kind of just a heads up of what could happen, because not all jobs are going as smoothly as the technician wishes. So yeah. All right, and next up, it's only a second repair that not many people need. It's kind of a bit more rare. So engine swaps, especially if we get a used engine from the salvage yard. So I've seen so many issues with those. So, you know, you get the estimate already for the labor plus the used engine. So labor, let's say 10 hours, and then the used engine 3.5. Okay, so you're looking at around already, so that's almost 1,500. So 5K plus for labor and parts for a used engine. Most of the time, the cars that need an engine swap are not covered under warranty. So if it's not covered under warranty, you're not getting a new engine, because they're way overpriced. Sometimes they're as much as the car, even twice or 3 times the value of the car. So yeah, so most of the time you're going to get a used engine if the customer is paying for it. All right, so these are some of the issues that we run into at the shop that could actually double, or, well, in this case not double, but it could increase the estimate by a lot. So when you drop the subframe, lots of times the bolts break. I remember once with a Honda Odyssey, one of the techs broke the subframe bolts, and it was a whole ordeal to extract that bolt. And the subframe bolts are pretty thick, so you could imagine how painful that was. So extract that, and then they would have to, I don't remember what they did. They welded some stuff, and then they had to, do the paint over it for the metal to be protected, and so on. So it was just a pain to get that done. So especially for older cars that would need a salvage engine, there's lots of rust underneath, and most of the time the subframe hasn't been touched for the whole life of the car. So you're going to be the first one touching those subframe bolts, and then really bad things could happen. So either subframe bolts, or I've seen them a lot with the rack and pinion bolts. They just snap, then you got to extract them, and that adds like 2-3 hours to the job. So it's gonna increase the estimate, which is already 5K, by another 10-15%. And after that, when you drop the subframe, automatically you need an alignment. So that's another labor cost. So that's 1 hour. So either at shop rate of $149.99, depending on the shop or garage or dealer. All right, and next up, so most of the time the salvage engines, they usually sit at the salvage yards for a long time, and we would have to also get lots of vacuum hoses, because some of these vacuum hoses, they just sit around and they just rot out, and then they collapse, or they're brittle and they break. So that's another cost. So we would also have to get vacuum hoses, and that's just from inspecting the used engine that comes in, and obviously after the job is done, starting it and testing and looking for leaks as well. It never goes just as smoothly as we wish. Sometimes you could always take the vacuum hoses from the old engine, or the one you're swapping out, to the new used one, but sometimes they're just as brittle, and then they break and so on. So you'd have to get brand new vacuum hoses to fix that issue. And then same thing with the coolant hoses. Just by trying to transfer coolant hoses, they break, they're brittle, and then they end up cracking, and then they'll leak eventually when you go ahead and start the car for the first time. And as well as seals. So like I said, the salvage engine, they usually just sit around, so the seals get all brittle, and then they especially the rubber seals, they get all dry, they brittle, and then After that, when you start it up for the first time, they leak a lot of oil. So lots of oil leaks that you would have to address. So just depending on where the oil leaks are, especially if you have the engine out right away, they would put right away rear main seal, and that's just logical to do since the engine is already out. So we won't risk having a salvage engine with the original seal on it, and then as well as, well, you can't really transfer seals because you're going to destroy them in that process. So seals are also going to add up to the cost. So either crank seals, cam seals, valve cover, gaskets, oil cooler seals, whatever is leaking, and if he has to address it, if the technician working on it has to address it right away. So oil pan seal, as well as sometimes axle seals. That's always a big one that leaks too. So when he's doing that job, he's also going to address all these just so he avoids some issues down the line. So that's kind of a same thing as the first repair here. It's kind of a heads up for those who are bringing their car in the shop or dealership to get a newer used engine put in. And so this is kind of what you might have to expect. The estimate going up by 20, 30, or even 40%, just because all of these reasons that I've listed here. And sometimes it's not in the control of the technician. The technician also, I mean, they just want to do a good job and, get the, like we say, get the car off the lift. We don't want the car sitting there for a few days. So yeah, and that's just scenarios that could add up to the estimate and add up to your bill. All right, and that's going to be it for this short video. Hope you guys find it helpful. Hope you guys find it valuable. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.